Hello, I've got two stories about Christian teachers, one working in Britain, another working in Ireland. Both of them recently got into trouble. They claim for their views, and they're having their freedom of religion suppressed. One of them by the law, and the other one by the school concerned. So let's just go through them. The first one in Wales. This man, Ben Dubowski, he's been teaching at this Christian faith school in Wales. He was sent along on a course delivered by a certain charity to reduce unconscious bias among teachers. So he's claiming that during the course he presented his Christian views, one of which was that marriage is exclusively for men and women. And he challenged them to prove that his views were considered discriminatory. This information apparently was passed on to the headmaster, and the headmaster had to let him go. He dismissed him as what he calls a safeguarding issue, meaning that he's trying to protect the safety and well-being of the pupils. That's actually quite a serious reason for dismissal. And so Mr. Dubowski claims that he is effectively being penalized for his religious beliefs, freedom of religion, etc. He's also saying that the headmaster claims that privately shares his Christian values, and despite this he's dismissing him. So Mr. Dubowski is claiming that it's an affront to freedom of speech and freedom of thought. And it seems that he was working through an agency rather than employed directly by the school. Agency teachers are exempt from any laws on unfair dismissal, so he can't take it to a tribunal and win compensation. Whether he would win compensation anyway is possibly doubtful, but I suppose it's an irrelevant point if he can't go down that route. He's also said that life begins at conception and that this is considered discriminatory. Actually, I'm not really sure how that's considered discriminatory. I guess that if he believes life begins at conception, then he might be against abortion, but I don't see as such how that would be considered discriminatory. But certainly the belief, the assertion that marriage is only for a man and a woman would automatically invalidate any marriage that was not between a man and a woman. In other words, two women, two men, two trans, or whatever. And he's claiming that he never expresses his Christian views to his pupils. But just coming back to that organization which is providing the course, their aim is to reduce unconscious bias among teachers. So it may well be that even though he's not overtly expressing his Christian views, there may be some unconscious bias in the way that he's handling certain matters, maybe in the way that he is treating certain pupils. So what do you think? Do you think that this was a case for dismissal, or is the school going a bit too far? Was it impinging on his religious beliefs? I don't know. I think that, you know, in the inclusive society that we're now living in, where various different types of lifestyles are now being accepted, whereas in the past they wouldn't, such as same-sex marriage, that type of thing. It's accepted in the community. It's accepted more or less in the secular society in which we live in Britain, and it's also supported by law. We've got laws against hate speech here, and I suppose that the school possibly would not want somebody working in the school upsetting potentially a child who was in a family which did not include a man and a woman. In other words, you know, two men, two women, or whatever. So let me know what you think about that. So the other case is about a teacher. This is more sort of topical for what's been happening on the atheist experience. He's a teacher who's refused to use gender-neutral pronouns. His name is Enoch Burke. This happened in Ireland. And He was apparently, there's a pupil in this school who is transitioning from male to female and wants to be known as they until, I don't know, until there's some progression in what's happening surgically. Mr. Burke refused to do this. He was, I think, suspended, told to stay away from the school. He came back to the school. The school got a court order to keep him away. And he then came back to the school. And for being in contempt of the court order, he was actually jailed. He was jailed pending purging his views on the pronoun, the neutral, being willing to use the gender neutral pronoun. He refused to do that. He said that it would be going against, reneging on his duty to God and his core Christian beliefs. He said that he's not a criminal, he's not a thief, and he's been put in prison. He was in prison over the Christmas period, apparently, 2022, and he's claiming that he's in prison for his religious beliefs. Well, I don't know about that, whether he's in prison for his religious beliefs. I mean, it's one thing to have a religious belief and keep it to yourself, but when you've got religious beliefs which impact on other people, I think, you know, that's the big problem. It's like people who don't believe in abortion. They've got a right to that belief, but if they actively try to stop women from having abortions, then I've got a problem with that, and I think that most people probably would. There's a picture of Mr. Burke with the police, and it's being taken very seriously. I wonder what you think of that. Do you know about either of those cases? Let me know what your thoughts are, but I thought I would bring that to you because I'm interested in cases where, particularly where Christians claim that they're not getting freedom of religion, because we've got theology here and doctrine coming into conflict with modern day social values and the law, and they're claiming that their freedom of religion is being suppressed. I'd be very interested to know your thoughts. So that's all for now. I'll be back again with another video soon. Bye.